First movement is going to be a dumbbell suitcase squat with a shoulder press. So on the left side, you're going to have a fairly substantial weight, starting with 15 pounds, and we're going with a 10-pound dumbbell overhead. So regular squat stance, feet a little bit wider than hip width. Come down into your squat, thinking about keeping your weight distributed evenly, not letting the hips shift left or right, and press on the way up. Down, 2, up, 2, down, 2, up, 2. At the top of the movement, make sure you're not arching the back, keeping the abdominals engaged. Our hand ends up straight up over the shoulder. More shoulders for you. I'm going to incorporate the bow suit here. You're going to be standing on top of your bow suit with both a front and lateral raise with your dumbbells. So thumbs are up for the front raise, just to shoulder height. Back down to the bottom, and lateral raise. Pause at the top, down, 2, 3. Quick on the way up, down, 2, 3. Hold, 2, down, 2, 3. Think about keeping those arms as long as you can. So that is your first superset, and that takes care of shoulders for this program for the most part. Okay, next movement's going to be a bridge into a dumbbell pullover. So the bridge is meant to be an active bridge. So each time you do a pullover, you're going to be lifting your hips into a bridge position. So you're going to be in a slight incline, and I made a couple of notes about your rib cage, so I'll review that while we're doing the movement here. So your hips start low, you're in an incline, arms are extended overhead, one hand on top of the other on your dumbbell, right? So here, you might feel a little bit of a stretch in the abdominals. Don't go any further. So if you can go here and not feel a stretch, keep going. A little stretch is okay, but it shouldn't be uncomfortable. So from here, you've got the arms extended overhead, and then you're going to drive the hips up and bring the dumbbell towards the belly. While you're doing this, you want to keep your abs engaged, and you want to keep control of your rib cage. So you want to keep the ribs from flaring out. I know you can't see, but if I bring the hands overhead or lower the hips too much, the rib cage expand, and I want the rib cage to stay connected. So drive those hips up as the dumbbell comes forward. Extend the arms overhead. Control the rib cage. Don't let all the air out. And exhale. Inhale on the way down. And exhale. So that's the active bridge with the dumbbell pullover. From there, you're going to go over to your cables, and you're set yourself up for a seated chest fly. You're going to be doing that bilaterally, alternating, or single arm. Bilaterally, you're going to be able to use the most weight. You want to set those cables up so that your hand is just a little bit lower than shoulder height. So you don't want the cable up here. You want it here or maybe a little bit lower. A little softness in those arms, feet grounded. Quick on the way, close, hold 2, open 2, 3. You can make it challenging by moving those feet in, open 2, 3. Or I might give you an alternating pattern. One arm's going to stand here. Here you're going to want to go a little bit wider with the feet. Make sure your abs are engaged, your torso is nice and tall. Open 2, 3, pause 2, and squeeze. Open 2, 3. Sorry, that's a single arm. So this is the single arm movement. 2, 3, pause 2, and squeeze. Alternating. 2, 3, pause 2, and squeeze. Open 2, 3, pause 2, and squeeze. That's what I've got for you on chest. Next, we're gonna move into back. So you've got a back lunge with a single arm row into a curl. So you've got just one dumbbell. I'm gonna start with a back lunge on the right, my dumbbell's on the right hand side. I'm thinking about stepping straight back, not crossing the center line. I want a nice long lunge. So get into that nice long lunge, body, torso's low. You may have to limit yourself a little bit, belly, row, and really use this glute and curl. So try not to press away so much on that right foot. Use the left leg to drive yourself back up. So you're really going to feel that on the outer glute. Row and curl. Row and curl. Regular tempo, all right? And then we're going to go to the cables again. Go into the cables. This time you're facing in. It's a reverse fly. Again, your pattern's going to be bilateral, alternating, or single arm. Same thing with the chest fly, your setup. And the handle should be just a little bit below the shoulders. So you're going to grab the left side over here, right side over here, torso nice and tall, feet wide. Quick, slow on the way forward. Quick, slow on the way forward. So you get to a point where you're not ready to go up on weight, but you want to make it more challenging. Bring your feet in more. Bring your weight a little more forward on the Bosu, that on the stability ball. That'll make you use your abs even a little bit more, make you sit up a little bit taller. So thinking about keeping the torso nice and tall on this, and I'll specify whether you're going to do it bilaterally or alternating, or holding one weight here and single arm. So the tempo, again, the tempo is still quick, pause to slow on the way forward. Quick, pause to slow on the way forward. So that's what I've got going for you for back. For legs, no weight. These are new movements. They're new to me too, so I don't really have a full concept of how many reps that you're going to be able to do. You may want to walk into it just thinking of doing 8 reps on each side, but if you get to 8 and you're like, I could do more, but you're going to feel pretty burnt out by the time you get to that third set, I'm pretty sure. It's more muscular endurance than strength on these, those in terms of the focus. So I just want to go over some terms. Abduct, this is abduct, A-B-D-U-C-T. This is adduct, and then there's curtsy. So it's called a single leg abduct to adduct to curtsy, and then there's 2 curtsy squats. So that's what this would look like. And you're thinking that this is, this is a Pilates move, so you're thinking about keeping the torso nice and tall, keep those abs drawn in, keep the chest tall, keep the rib cage up, right? So the rib cage doesn't fall down here, the rib cage stays up. So arms by the side, nice and tall, balance on that right leg, out to the side, to the front, cross behind, touch the toe down, and squat, squat. Right into out to the side, cross over, cross behind, squat, squat. Look at my knee alignment. It should be still in line with the first and second toe, somewhere in there. Not out here, not crossed over, right? So this is a nice slow tempo. This is what I'm going for in terms of tempo on this one. Squat, squat. You can change the arms up. You can go out here. Wherever you want to put the arms. So then you're going to move into a reverse lunge into a warrior, and you're going to hold your warrior for a count of 4. So I'll show you from the side here, and I'll show you from front also. It's a reverse lunge. It's a nice long lunge. So I'm going to find my balance on my right foot, lunging back with the left. I'm going to go arms out to the side, and warrior. Hold, 2, 3, 4, lunge down, and feet together. Lunge back, arms out, warrior, keep those hips level, 2, 3, 4, back, and together. From the front, this is my harder side. Lunge it back, go arms forward. Warrior, keep the hips level, don't let them drop, don't let them, particularly this is what I don't want. I want the hips level. Lunge it back, and feet together. So that's your lunge to warrior. That's pretty much should tap out your legs. That's where I put it at that point in the program. I didn't want to wear out your legs any earlier. And then your last grouping is going to be triceps and biceps. Okay, working biceps, your movement is going to be done with the Bosu. You're working laterally, so your Bosu's off to the side. You're setting yourself up in a squat stance. Your curl, wrists or hands are neutral, and the movement is reciprocal. So arms moving at the same time. So here we go. We've got a squat. One arm's going to come up into the squat, and woo, squat and touch. Squat and touch. You want to make it more challenging, do a very light toe touch. Or you can add balance. So there's a lot of reps in here. You've got 10 to 15 reps on one side, and then 10 to 15 reps on the other side. And then you're gonna go into triceps. Still using that bow, so you're in a lunge stance. It's just a static lunge. You're not moving in and out of the lunge. I'll show you this from the side. So stepping forward onto your Bosu. Hips are squared off. Knee is pretty much centered over the ankle. Hands come up, over shoulders. Keep your weight forward and press. The intention here is to just do 10 to 15 tricep presses. So first time through, you might go with the right foot on the Bosu. Second time through, left foot on the Bosu. So again, 3 sets of everything is what I'm looking for. Gave you the suggested weight to start with. By all means, alter that if you need to. I wasn't remembering on the cable machine if you had, I know you have a tiny little plate, so that's what I call 5 pounds. Then your first plate is 10. I don't think you have a 15. But in some of those cases, I think you're going to have a hard time between a 10 and a 20. So you're just going to have to work with that in terms of setting up the stability ball, like I said, with a position so that you're a little bit more challenged, or sit back a little bit on the stability ball with your feet wider if you think you can handle a heavier weight. All right, so those are my recommendations for you. I think you're going to be challenged by this one. I hope you have fun with it because it's pretty different than what we've been doing. And please let me know how it goes.